In this video, I'm going to talk about 10 things I wish I knew about Tulum before I moved here. Now, before we get started, I want to introduce myself in case you've never seen my videos before. My name is Gaspar. I was born in Mexico, but I grew up in Kansas. And then I went to high school in Arizona and then moved to Texas. And I lived there for about 15 years ago. And then about 5 years ago, I came to Mexico where I first visited a bunch of different cities. Tulum was one of them, and I actually didn't care for it when I first visited. So I lived in Playa for a year. I moved back to Houston for 6 months, and then I came to Cancun for a year, and then I lived back into Houston for 6 months. But I said, look, I'm tired of moving back and forth. I love Mexico. I want to find something to do. So I decided to give Tulum another try, and I wanted to get into real estate. So as I mentioned, I didn't care for Tulum when I first visited. So I said, look, I'm going to live here for a month before I decide. And when I got here, I still wasn't sure if this was the place for me. When I visited the first time, it seemed like just like kind of like a party scene. And I just wasn't in that mind frame at the time. And I was like, this is great. Glad you guys love it. But I did know that there was other aspects people love about Tulum. So that's what I wanted to get to know before I decided to sell real estate. But then when I decided to sell real estate, that's when I kind of felt like Tulum opened up for me. I got to meet a bunch of amazing people. But let me just talk about some of those things that I wish I knew before I moved here. Now, first, as I kind of alluded to earlier, Tulum is actually a better city to live in than to visit. I know a lot of cities, they'll say, well, it's a great place to visit, but not a great place to live. I kind of feel the opposite here. I mean, maybe you visited Tulum and you absolutely loved it and you're not sure if you love living here. I'd highly advise you to give it a shot. Maybe live here for a month or two before you decide. And guys, like I said, I was in about the 1 month period and I wasn't sure if I was going to move here or not. And then that's when I felt like once I just kind of surrendered to the idea of living here, that kind of I started meeting more amazing people, and that's why I decided to live here. Two, one of the second thing I wish I knew is the mosquitoes here are relentless. Um, I know it's easy to say that. And like I said, I've lived here for 2 years, and every time I think that they've forgotten about me or they've accepted me as their own, they come back. And so I'll go 2 or 3 weeks without a single mosquito bite, and then I'll go 2 or 3 days of getting attacked left and right. I don't know what it is. I've heard it's something to do with your sugar. I don't know. I've heard lots of things, but I don't know what it is. But there's mosquitoes here. Second is, or third is, there's amazing rental options. I've had multiple friends come visit from other parts of the world, and they're just like, wow, you guys have really good rental options. Like this would cost me, double, triple, quadruple what it would cost me in the States or whatever country they're from. So it has an amazing rental market. The really cool thing about the rental market is that most places just require 1 month's deposit. Yeah, so they're not checking your credit. They're not checking all this other stuff. Basically you can come and just pay 1 month down and then you'll be able to move in. And I'm actually working on a rental platform. I don't have it finished yet. Depending on which you watch this video, I may have it done. So just check the description just in case. Another thing is Tulum Time. When I first got here, it felt like everything took forever. I would ask for oh, I'd like to, or like I'll order something online. It'll say 3 to 5 days. Then I swear it arrives the next day. But then I look at the order date and I was like, no, that was 3 days ago. It did get here. So Tulum is on its own time. I don't know. I tell everybody, I feel like I have like 3 day weeks. I feel like one day after the other, it's a whole new week. And I can't explain it. Everything takes longer, but time goes faster. I can't explain that for you. Next is your neighborhood selection is everything. When I first moved here, I was living in downtown, and so there was a lot of traffic. There was a lot of people coming in and out. There was a lot of visitors, tourists, and maybe that's kind of where I got the idea that it was just like a big party town. As soon as I moved to Aldea Zama, it was a whole different vibe. It was a whole different experience. Um, and I know some people like La Veleta because they want that form of things to do. They want restaurants nearby. But I love Aldea Zama. If I want to go downtown, I go downtown. If I want to go to Aldea Zama, I go to Aldea Zama. For me, I'm sorry, La Veleta, but for me, Aldea Zama is kind of my mix. But you may have different points of view, different interests. But if you have any questions all about the other districts, let me know in the comments and I'll kind of answer those for you. Um, Next is the water, the internet, the power. works 95% of the time. It's just that 5% that really bothers you. And guys, it will happen at the most inopportune times. I do feel bad when it happens to me. Like I do get mad, but at the same time, you just kind of learn to roll with the punches. I tell people all the time that when your internet goes out, read a book. Like like if your power goes out, go take a walk. Like it's not the end of the world. We've become so used to having these modern necessities, essentials, that we forget that we're humans, that we can, that 100 years ago, none of this existed. And we have to connect, we have to do other things, go take a walk, go ride a bike, whatever makes you happy. Um, Next is there are a lot of international people, and I love it. I come from Houston. I love hearing other languages, meeting people from these other cultures. Tulum, you get to get a really good mix of that. Obviously, most of the people are Mexican. There are obviously a lot of Americans, Canadians, but overall, you're going to get a really good mix. I met some people yesterday from Poland. So you're going to get a really good mix of people that come visit here and that choose to live here. So that's what I absolutely love about it here. Um, Next, this is a great place to find your tribe. Um, I know in the States, I had run clubs, had all these other things. You're going to find those here too. I know there is a run club here. I still haven't done the one here yet. I'm just kind of, running's not my thing. I kind of did it because my cousin made me do it in the States. Here, nobody's obligated me to do it. So I haven't done it yet. I will do it one day. I just haven't decided to do it. There is a Tulum Dinner Club. I did do one of those. They're really cool. Really interesting people, but obviously it wasn't my vibe, so I didn't go back. But there's people that go every single week. There's also a wine club I'm going to tonight. My friend runs that one. She's an amazing person, Charlotte. But there's also other people there, so I'm really excited to do that tonight. There's also Refi Tulum, an environmentalist club. There's tons of things to get involved in. There's Toastmasters, there's networking groups, tons of things to do. It's not just partying and all this other stuff. And obviously, there's nature. There's other things for you to enjoy in Tulum. That was just when I got here. That's what I thought it was. Next, cash is king. There's still a lot of small businesses that don't have the card reading thing, and that's just small business. I particularly like to go to small businesses. I like to go to little taco stands. I like to go to little support these little small shops. So if you want to do that, highly advise having cash on hand, and do get the local currency, the pesos, obviously. When you get in dollars, sometimes there's a convergency rate that I think I said that wrong. Um, uh, my mouth's not working right now, but yeah, with what the app I use is Revolut. I'm able to deposit from my American bank account into my Revolut and pull it out. It pulls out at the local rate. I can't even say that word anymore right now. And so you get the best rate. I've literally saved hundreds, probably thousands from having that app, simply because there's a lot of times no fees, no ATM fees, and like I said, you do get the best rate, which is the most important part. And also, too, guys, this is a quick note: always click no to the conversion, because if you click yes, it charges you a marked up amount, which can be 15 to 20%, sometimes more. I mean, there's literally times where I'm pulling out $100 and it'll say, "Do you agree to 120?" It's like no, and so I'll click no, and then it'll take out the $100. But if you click yes, it'll charge you the full amount, which is like their marked up rate. And then finally, the one thing obviously I need to worry about is if you come here, you may want to never leave. I meet people all the time that came here on vacation and they just never left. And I'm talking about Mexicans, Americans, Europeans. This is just a really good place to, I feel, to live, to meet other people, to explore. What somebody told me the other day is what I love about Tulum. It's not just a great city, but it's also a good hub. Like I can go to Bacalar in 3 hours. If I want to go to Cancun, I can go to Cancun. If I want to go to Playa, I can go to Playa. If I just want to explore cenotes, I can go explore cenotes. But guys, thank you so much for watching this video. If you have any questions, just let me know in the comments or just shoot me a DM. Thank you.